Hey, what is up, YouTube fam? It's Dupree, aka Darth Hater here with another review. So I recently just watched the Fresh Prince Bel-Air reunion, 30-year reunion. 30-year reunion. Like, think about that. It's been 30 years since the show first aired in 1990. That's crazy to think about. Like, I was watching the show when I was a little kid and everything. Like, I grew up watching the show as it was on, the early mid-90s. One of the shows like this that it's like one of those great 90s shows that stood the test of time, that people still watch to this day, that's so quotable, so relatable. Sometimes whenever I see my friends, like, we'll do like the Will and DJJazzyJeff, every time we see each other, or whenever we go to like a wedding, somebody always plays like Jump On It, and you're just like, it's one of those shows that is so ingrained in pop culture, but you can't help but to quote and everything. And it's crazy that newer generations are just discovering the show and learning about it. It's a crazy thought. This is a crazy thought. It's on HBO Max. I actually got a subscription, got a 7-day free trial run, but I'm probably gonna keep it just because Wonder Woman comes out on HBO Max in December, so 1 month and done. So they brought the whole entire cast back. First off, they rebuilt the set, the whole set. The living room, the kitchen, the dining room, all that from the show. They rebuilt everything. They brought the whole cast back. And when I mean the whole cast, I mean the entire cast that was ever on the show. You had Will, you had, Hillary, you had Ashley, you had Carlton, you had Aunt Viv, you had Jeffrey, you had Jazz, DJJazzyJeff. You had Little Nicky. The actor who played Little Nicky was even back. He was there, all grown up. And then the surprise, cast member they brought back was the original Aunt Viv, which was crazy. One of the most talked about parts of the show, other than James Avery, aka Uncle Phil, passed away sadly in 2013. So he never got the chance to be here for the reunions or anything like that. But R.I.P. Uncle Phil. He was the heart of the show. He really was the heart of the show. And they do touch on that and one aspect where they talk about his contributions and how he was kind of like, even though he wasn't really in real life their father, Will and a lot of other cast members' mentor. Like, he was laying the ground roots for them to represent themselves and black culture on TV, in the best way, which was great. And it's just sad that he wasn't able to be there. You could really feel it. The other aspect of the show that really hit home was the first Aunt Viv, the original Aunt Viv they brought back. And if you guys didn't know or hadn't watched this, there had been a lot of animosity between Will and that actress for some years because of a lot of backstage drama and a lot of stuff that he didn't even know about. But at the time when he was that young actor in Hollywood, he didn't care, he didn't know. So he just kind of asked her to get off the show, or asked the producers to just But it was good seeing them get back together and bury the hatchet. And then after that, the other cast members didn't know. They didn't know that they had did that, and they invited her to the show. So it was a little weird seeing the two Aunt Vivs shake hands and hug and everything. It was really surreal, because there's a moment in the third or fourth season at the beginning, after Aunt Viv has the baby and there's little Nicky. Jazz comes into the kitchen. He's like, Mrs. Banks, you look kind of different. And then Will's there holding the baby, just it looks at the camera, and it's like one of those things that it's nobody really talked about, but we knew something had happened. I'm such a huge fan. of that shit. Look, this is how much of a fan I am. I have all the seasons on DVD. That's how much of a fan I am. And I watch these religiously, at least once or twice a year. Like, how can you not? You know, this is one of those shows where you had to actually buy, you know, you actually had to buy like the box set or whatnot. It doesn't always come on TV, and I don't know. I just like the behind the scenes stuff. There's a lot of funny behind the scenes stuff on like the DVDs and the Blu-rays. All the seasons are on HBO Max, which is weird to see. Just to think about the Fresh Prince, like a show on that was on, you know, ABC or NBC, being on HBO Max, which is kind of weird, but you know, it is what it is. You know, most of the shows or older shows are going on streaming services too, so it's nice to see fresh life being breathed into that show. I also heard that so there was a Fresh Prince remake. These guys had did like their own trailer, and it was like a kind of new age Fresh Prince for like 2019 at the time or whatever, which was really cool, and it got the attention of Will Smith. And I think he did a video a while back saying that they were greenlit, that they were they were gonna go ahead with that. So we have that to look forward to on the horizon. So that's gonna be cool. I can't wait for that. As far as the reunion went, all in all, it was bittersweet. It was nice to see those people on that set again, and it's funny because they kind of reverted back into their characters. And it's cool hearing like stories about, you know, casting stories of how they got the role, or like little things that they did that, you know, when they first started off. Like it's funny, I've watched this show so many years and I did not notice that in the pilot of the first few episodes, it was Will's like first real acting role, because he wasn't really an actor, he was a rapper. So at the beginning, like every now and then he even says it, that he took it so seriously that he would read all his lines, everybody's lines, so he knew everybody's lines. He could play Aunt Viv, Uncle Phil, Jeffrey, everybody. He would mouth the lines. Like sometimes actors do that and they're trying to catch the vibe or whatever. They'll read other actors' lines, or they'll mouth them. Like it's like you're saying something and then he's in the background just like. And I thought that was so funny. I didn't realize that. And in that first episode, or that first season, I should say, he does that a lot. Yeah, this made me want to go back. This definitely made me want to go back and rewatch The Fresh Prince. It was already on my slate of like, you know, my movies and DVDs and stuff I should be watching, or I want to go back and rewatch, but definitely going to be doing that like a lot sooner than later. But anyway, this has been my review for the Fresh Prince reunion, 30-year reunion on HBO Max. Go definitely check it out. Give it a watch if you guys haven't already. Go back and watch the Fresh Prince. Like, you know, if you guys haven't watched it, that's such a good show. You know, if you guys are younger and haven't watched it, definitely that is my number one show I recommend. I will go as far as to say that is my all-time favorite TV show. Let me know what you guys thought about this review. You know, did you like it? Are you gonna go watch Fresh Prince reunion? You gonna go watch the TV show? Post your thoughts and comments down below. Like this video, hit that like button, and also subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell so you guys can get notified whenever I post videos. And thank you guys for watching this. Catch you the next time. Bye.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down. And I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel-Air. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all, shooting some b-ball outside of the school. When a couple of guys who were up to no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight and my mom got scared and said, "You're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel-Air." I begged and pleaded with her day after day, but she packed my suitcase and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss and then she gave me my ticket. I put my Walkman on and said I might as well kick it. First class, yo, this is bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass. Is this what the people of Bel-Air living like? This might be alright. But wait, I hear the prissy, bourgeois and all that. Is this the type of place that they just send this cool cat? I don't think so. I see when I get there. I hope they're prepared for the Prince of Bel-Air. The plane landed and when I came out, there was a dude look like a cop standing there with my name out. I ain't trying to get arrested yet, I just got here. I sprang with the quickness like lightning disappeared. I whistled for a cab and when it came near, the license plate said fresher than a dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was rare, but I thought, man, forget it. Yo, home to Bel-Air. Up to the house about 7 or 8, and I yelled to the cabbie, "Yo, home, smell you later." Looked at my kingdom, I was finally there to sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel-Air.